Welcome to Module 5 of the program Crown to Shine. This program was designed as a bold pathway for Christian women leading in business and beyond, rooted in scripture, rising in authority, wealth, and lasting impact. My name is Daniela Baur. I'm ICF certified coach. I'm also certified Christian life coach. I full-time in the marketplace, coaching teams. And my passion is working with Christian women with leadership who are like me, uh, being sometimes in moments of overwhelm, of being pulled in all directions and going through burnout. So let's explore together how we can get out of the burnout state, but also how we can keep ourselves in this balanced state. So Crown to Shine, we already completed Module 1. Now we are starting with Module 2. The title of Module 2 is Biblical Leadership Leading God's Way. This module consists of 5 sessions. Today we'll do 4 sessions. Today we'll do the first one of them. So the first session will be Leading Like Deborah, Boldness, Wisdom, and Godly Strategy. That's today. The next session is Balancing Power and Humility, the Jesus Way of Leading. The next session would be Servant Leadership in a World of Self-Promotion. And the last session of this module will be From Burnout to Overflow, Leading with God's Strength. So if you are in a state of burnout, if you think that it's becoming very hard to bear and you're losing the ground under your feet, this is a good place for you to be. So again, let's get back to session 5, Leading Like Deborah with Boldness, Wisdom, and Godly Strategy. By the end of this session, you will understand how Deborah's courage, wisdom, and obedience model godly leadership. You'll reflect on areas of your life that may look successful, but feel spiritually divided. You'll identify, or we will identify together, modern day idols that can distract from full trust in God. And we'll take practical steps to lead with clarity, boldness, and God-given authority. Now we're going to go back and cover a few things that we actually covered in Module 1. We lay the foundation for our ministry in the marketplace. Faith is the bedrock, the source of clarity and strength. And we also talked about Esther, the orphan girl who through faith and obedience became a queen and delivered her people. One of our foundational scriptures was Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. If you're thinking what your purpose on this earth is and in this life, well, this is your purpose. Your life to shine in a way that will glorify the Father in heaven. Who is Deborah? Judges 4:6. Now Deborah, a prophet, the wife of Lapidoth, was leading Israel at that time. She sent for Barak and said to him, "The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you." She was a prophet and a judge. Probably a good thing to think about what exactly is a prophet and explore that, but it's not the topic of our session today. She was a national leader in the highest position. What does that mean? There are no limitations. The sky is the limit. And she was a messenger of God. Now, in today's session, we will be talking about Esther. So let's see, what do Esther and Deborah have in common? Both were called to lead in dangerous times. Do we live in dangerous times now? I believe we do. Deborah led in the open. Esther led behind palace walls. We have our positions in the society or in the marketplace. Some are in the open, some are behind walls, but we are called to lead. Both displayed obedience, discernment, and boldness, and so should we. Let's compare a few traits that Esther and Deborah had and uh, see how they're expressed. So, courage was one of them. Esther approached the king, risking her life. She showed courage. Deborah commanded Barak and led Israel into battle. She was a military person. She led Israel into the battle. Another trait, leadership. Esther used her influence to save her people. Deborah judged and guided Israel with prophetic wisdom. Another trait, divine assignment. Esther, positioned for such a time as this, and Deborah, appointed by God to speak his commands. Legacy. Esther provided salvation for the Jews. Deborah, freedom and peace for the Israelites. Let's look now at Deborah's cultural reality. Deborah lived in the promised land. That's the outwardly. The Jews were in the promised land. How do they live? They mix true worship and idolatry. What is the modern day symbolism of the promised land? Our God-given calling of spiritual life. That's our promised land, what God has given to us. What is our calling? What is our spiritual life? God has promised us a life of blessing, purpose, or success, or all of them. And God has given us, or He's promised us, external signs of faith and influence. So when we have faith, then there are some external signs. How else are we going to make our light shine so the Father will be glorified? Now let's think about, and here's the question. In what areas of your life, of my life, are you living in the promised land outwardly? So that means you're blessed, your business is thriving, your life is thriving, uh, kids and everything is working really well for you. But inwardly, you're struggling with divided devotion. Who are and what are the Canaanite gods today? Career success or ambition at any cost, control, comfort, or convenience, the approval of others or fear of men, performance-driven religion, social media validation, oh, social media, security through wealth or status. Are there any Canaanite gods in your life? Any of these that we just listed, or maybe some others? Think about it. Who are the Deborahs of today? God still raises voices of truth and courage through Christian women as leaders, as coaches, as mentors. And here are a few questions, reflection questions for you. Where is God calling me to lead in courage? Ask yourself. Think about it. Explore. What fear is holding me back from using my authority? We're talking about authority as a Christian. How can I grow in godly wisdom this season? Who in scripture inspires my leadership style and why? And some more reflection questions. Where do you need to step up in your sphere of influence? How can we support each other as women leaders, either in this group or in other groups that you're members of, or the church that you attend? What makes godly leadership different from worldly leadership? What is the difference? And here are some practical ways to lead like Deborah. Seek wisdom through prayer and scripture. Speak truth boldly but graciously. Mentor and disciple others in your journey. Lead from rest, not striving. Actually, Module 1 had a session specifically focusing on rest and not striving. Rest is important. It's to restore the body, it's to restore the mind, and restore the spirit. Proverbs 31:25. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. May you lead with courage of Deborah and the strategy of Esther. May your leadership reflect the heart of the king and point others to his goodness. Let your light shine brighter and brighter. Thank you so much for participating in this session. This is just the beginning. These are just a few thoughts and few questions that can be asked or we can ask ourselves. But there is so much depth into that. So if any of you would like to dig deeper into the topic, you can reach me at Daniela@danielabaurcoach.com, or you can check my website, danielabaurcoach.com. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next session of Module 2. Thank you so much.